What is up, Watch Fam? Happy Friday, and welcome to this week's episode of Liquor Run. I am Christian from Theo and Harris. This is my old man,
Rolly.
And today we're going to be jumping into a very hot topic at the moment, the most expensive Rolex Submariner ever sold at auction at a whopping $1 million over a bottle of what, Daddy-O?
Chardonnay Viognier blend.
Love it.
From Louis Latour.
Ice cold. All right, before we jump into the $1 million sub and the bottle of wine, wristwatch check. What are you wearing?
Well, I don't have $1 million sub, but I've got a priceless GMT Master.
Love it. You actually told the entire story of this watch, what it meant to you, how you got it on one of the first episode you were ever on Theo and Harris called Watch People and Wine. Please roll a clip of that video now.
I found this watch actually in Bermuda. The first time I saw it and was able to actually hold it in my hands was in Bermuda.
All right, that was an awesome video. I really love making that. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already. I am wearing a very special watch to me, a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage in blue. I put it on this gray tropic strap for the summertime. That bracelet, although beautiful, gets a little bit heavy in the summer.
That looks great.
Right?
Yeah, I love
it's a
that.
cool, for
Great
like
contrast.
run around sports watch
Yeah.
in the summertime, t-shirt, jeans, and
Cool
and
look.
Love it.
So let's open the bottle. And we love Louis Latour.
Yep.
We've talked about Louis Latour in the past.
You say it's a brand with a lot of different offerings at different price points,
yes.
right?
Yes. I mean, there aren't that many wineries that can give you, an $8 bottle of wine and then, a hundreds,
Right.
$1,000 bottles. It's just the numbers are big. It's a great winery. It's been in existence for a while, a long time, and they are definitely recognized as one of the standard bearers in Burgundy.
Awesome.
So you got to like that.
Cool.
And this is pretty
$8
big
bucks.
house. Oh, this one is probably a little bit more.
Okay.
This is because this is a Chardonnay and Viognier called Duet.
Okay.
This is probably going to be around, I would say around $13.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, which is still
Still affordable
yeah.
bottle of wine. That's
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Let's. So this is going to be interesting because obviously this is a blend, right?
Yep.
It's not just straight up Chardonnay like what we typically drink from this from Louis Latour.
Yep.
But let's see what the Viognier does.
Salud.
Salud.
It's a totally different bottle of wine.
Yeah, big time.
Totally different.
Wow.
I'm very familiar with the Chardonnay. We have it quite often. This is delicious too, though. Wow. Very different, though.
This is actually drier than I thought it was going to be. I thought the Viognier was going to add a roundness to it, maybe even a little sweetness.
No.
That's not the case.
No. There's almost a tartness in it.
Yeah, that's right. The tartness.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like a bitterness.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Which is not really a tasting note that we find too often in wine, a bitterness.
Right.
You get tartness, you get, fruits and things like that, but this is interesting. This is tasty.
It's
though.
almost like a citrus pith.
Definitely the kind of the pith.
Yeah.
Which is funny, right?
Yeah.
That you get the different taste from the juices and then the pith.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I always found that quite fun.
Cheers.
That's like when salud. When Poppy makes limoncello.
Right.
You have to get the yellow of
Yes.
the lemon, but not the white pith.
He's big on the white.
So okay, so let's talk about this. The big auction house now is Phillips, right? I'm sure you've
Yes.
heard of them before.
Yes.
The inaugural sale was the Day-Date auction. Then they went on to a Daytona Ultimatum. They've done the Paul Newman, say $17-18 million. Phillips has really been the record breaker. Patek 1518 pink gold with bracelet. I mean, they've made the biggest waves in the auction industry in the last 3 years, right? But this watch. To my surprise, actually came out of a more, traditional watch auction house, Christie's. And it recently hit $1 million, the biggest number ever brought in public sale for a Rolex Submariner.
Wow.
It's a big number.
Record breaking.
Absolutely.
Wow. What makes it what warrants $1 million for a Submariner?
So, first of all, it is a rare reference. It's a reference that is desirable. It's a reference 6538, probably one of the most desirable Submariner references out there. Beyond that, it is in its details and its nuances even an ultra rare version within that reference. Most 6538s do not come with standard dials like the James Bond watch. This is actually an Explorer dial with the 3, 6, and 9 Arabic numerals, which is obviously very different. What I think is so interesting about details like that, right? That's an obvious difference, right? When you get into watches, sometimes there are the most small, minute, easily mistakable or missable details that can be worth 30, 40, 50, $100,000. But with something so fundamentally huge, something so fundamental,
Right.
I think that already set the tone for this watch, being so recognizable, having the ability to really demand big premiums at auction.
I see.
Beyond the Explorer dial, it's a meters first, which on the dial, the first line of print on the bottom half of the dial shows you the depth rating, first in meters. Another kind of odd little Rolex vintage geek thing, making it even more rare. Those numbers are printed in red. I mean, again, these are kind of small
Right.
nuances, but it has kind of created this, in a way, I don't want to say perfect storm, but pretty damn good storm, right?
Yeah.
If you notice, the watch is missing a bezel, which,
Oh, wow.
is a pretty huge part of the watch itself.
Right.
So no, I wouldn't say it was the perfect storm, but it is a pretty damn interesting watch. But still, $1 million is a lot of money.
Do you think that other Submariners will follow ride that coattail?
I think
will it have an
that-
effect on the class?
I think that what we've noticed in the last couple of months here is the Daytona market exploding. The Submariner market, although getting very pricey in the more approachable, and when I say approachable, I mean sub $100,000. Certainly not approachable, but compared to $1 million, Submariners are very expensive watches. They've blown away GMTs, right? But at this level, in the over $500,000, over $1 million, Submariners are basically non-existent, whereas Daytonas have flooded this market, right? So, do I think that this will begin a flux of Daytona of Submariner appreciation? Quite possibly. Eventually people get tired of hearing Daytona.
Yeah.
They just do. So when something becomes played out, which it's possible that is the Daytona, something else has to take its place,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
And really, what Rolex would take its place as easily as a Submariner? That's one of the most iconic names in watches.
Yeah. So where does this all go? Where do you think it's going?
Into the millions.
Yeah,
This
really?
could. Oh yeah.
Wow.
The Daytona market, people said that, $500,000 was a lot of money. Then it went to $1 million, then $1.5 million, then $2 million, then $3 million, then $17 million happened, and it was kind of like nothing.
Right.
I think the Submariner market can double, triple, quadruple. I really don't think it's even very far-fetched. So it's kind of funny because I've been a tremendous critic of the Submariner market at that $50,000 range. I think that they're not filled with value. I think that they're expensive just because people want them. I don't think they pack as much punch as they cost. But you know what? If they're just good investments now, who cares why they're
cares?
going up?
Yeah.
If they're going up, you're going to start seeing a lot of investors in that market.
So that was my next question.
Yeah.
So should you be buying Submariners and putting them away?
I don't know. That is a very risky thing to do. We're talking about serious money. We're talking about massive fluctuation in value. I think buying a 2001 GMT is a guaranteed lock. You're going to make money right now. If you buy aluminum GMT, you're going to make money, no doubt.
Right.
You'll make $1,000, you'll make $2,000, maybe $3,000, whatever. With the Submariners, with these rare watches, you can make $500,000. But you can lose $500,000.
Right.
So I don't want to overstep my boundary here and give a investment opinion on this wildly unpredictable market. It's too dangerous. What do you think about some of these people? And some people that have chosen to really invest in watches, right? How do you feel about that?
Obviously, it's all speculation.
Right, like anything else.
It's
though.
like anything else. It's some of that is just the bragging right to say I have it.
Absolutely. Which does carry a value.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if you break even, you got to brag about having that thing for 6 months or a year or whatever.
That's right. So I think it becomes, I have it, and there aren't that many out there. Whatever it is, whatever's driving that, all of a sudden that craze.
Well, think about it. How much is like a Porsche 911? I mean, you're probably talking what, $120,000 for a souped up. I mean, not top of the line, but a really decked out 911. 120 grand, 130 grand.
Yeah.
What is it worth after you're done with it? 80, 70, 80?
Right.
So right there you're losing at least $40,000.
Right.
So how is that fundamentally any different, right? Your investment is for the enjoyment of the item.
Yeah.
So how is it any different than a watch, realistically?
Right. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that.
It's really not.
It's
in the eye of the
beholder. Such an arbitrary.
It is. Is it so wrong to lose $40,000 in a sub? If you're ready to lose 40 grand on a Porsche?
I suppose it doesn't matter. Basically, if you know, and it happens every day, right? People buy cars and luxury items that they depreciate from the moment you step out of the store.
Right.
That is now worth 20-30% less than what it was.
Right. At least.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I just think that the difference is when you're talking about cars, you walk in knowing that.
Yes.
You walk in knowing I'm going to lose 30%, 40%, no problem.
Right.
I'm prepared. With watches, you can make 20, 30%.
Sure.
And that's a great idea.
Sure.
But you can also lose.
Of course.
At that level. And we're talking about it. This is level that I don't even go near.
Right.
But as an observer, you can see it. You can easily lose, $30,000-$40,000 at that level. It's not even at the million. Forget the million. You can lose 400 grand at a million. You can lose 500 grand at a million.
Yeah.
But even at the $100,000 range.
Yeah.
Daytonas, Paul Newman's at a point got soft about 2 years ago. They got real soft in the market. And I know guys that were losing 30, 40, 50, 60 grand, 80 grand like it was nothing. Nothing. Like it was like, fuck. Like, it's gone. It's just in the wind.
That's a language.
But it's crazy. So we may be sitting here enjoying this, Chardonnay. What is it called? Viognier.
Yeah.
Talking about the sub market, which might be exploding, and in 4 months we could say, "Holy shit, the sub market is totally out of control.
Right.
Why didn't we buy subs?"
That's right. That would be the next episode.
That would be the next episode.
Follow-up episode. Yeah. So you guys have 2 cameras now? I can tell you, I can give you two wines that I used to buy for about $20 a bottle. Chateau Saint Jean, Cinq-Cépages from Washington, U.S. wine. It hit the Wine Spectator #1 wine. Yeah. That wine went from $20 to $80 overnight.
Christ.
$20 bottle of wine became an $80 retail bottle of wine.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, and that's retail.
Me?
That's hysterical. We're talking about secondhand market. You can kind of understand the fluctuation.
Right.
But retail price went up that high?
It went. Yes.
Wow.
And that wine has stayed there.
Wow.
You can't touch that wine for less than $80.
So people, basically, I mean, when it was at $20, did everyone view it as like this crazy value prop, and you knew it was going to pop eventually?
I think people knew that it was a good bottle of wine,
but they didn't imagine.
But no one imagined that it would be an $80 bottle of wine.
That's hysterical.
What in the world, right? I think the same thing too. There were some Chilean wines that to this day also, they not that they were inexpensive, but they weren't what they are today. I think another one was Conchitoro, Don Melchor. Yeah. Okay, this was a modestly priced wine, and all of a sudden skyrocketed with really good press. Yeah. And Coloapalta was another one that was, again, not inexpensive, but all of a sudden exploded because of what the buzz was. Amazing. So now all of a sudden you wanted to buy that wine because you knew not only was it going to keep its value, it's going to appreciate. Right.
It's funny. As soon as people get a taste, I mean, and at different levels. Yeah. But as soon as people get a taste for something is hot. Yeah. The world follows. I mean, everyone follows. With the money, it's unbelievable.
That's right.
$1 million for a sub 6 months ago may have been crazy.
Right.
And it could be a steal in another 3 months.
That's right.
It's literally hysterical.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. A lot of parallels here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Liquor Run. Thank you, Daddy-O, for bringing this
always
beautiful
a pleasure
bottle of wine.
Love your fans.
Our fans.
Our fans.
I'll see you guys all on Monday for Red T&H.
Take care. Salud.
Peace.